Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean from Ridesharing101.com, and today on the daily vlog, I am going to talk to you briefly about whether or not you should wait for your passengers. Now, shameless plug for the website, Ridesharing101.com, links to the Facebook group, links to the YouTube channel, short stories about some of the more interesting passengers that I've picked up, and of course the ebook and the t-shirt that I have for sale. Now, as I mentioned previously, the topic is, should you wait for your passengers? And generally, I would say yes. Sometimes it takes people a little while to get together, and obviously you're not going to get paid if you don't pick people up. Now, the reason I decided to talk about this today was I did have a fare where I didn't wait for the passenger this morning, and I wanted to talk about that. I got a request. This was at 4:30 in the morning, and it was at these apartment buildings. And the apartment buildings are fairly close to the airport, and I know a lot of times stewardesses stay there, but also in general, you know, they're filled with just regular people like you and I. So I get the request and I go to the location and the person is not there. And I also know with these apartment buildings that they have a couple of entrances. There's a front and a back. So it doesn't surprise me when oops, that's coffee signal. Drink coffee. Okay, much better. It doesn't surprise me when I get a call and I answer it, and it's the passenger, and they're on the other side of the building. So I know where that is. So I said, okay, no problem. I know where you're at. So I drive there, and they're still not there. And there's a third sort of side entrance, and I drive by that, and I don't see anybody. So I decide I'm going to loop around when I get a text saying, hey, you drove right by us. Well, I didn't drive right by them. I drove by maybe the entrance where they were at, because they were not outside waiting and ready. I already received a phone call from them, supposedly telling me where they were. So if they can call me, they should be ready and set to go. The fact that I have to stop, wait for them maybe in some entrance way or whatever is not going to work. It doesn't work for me. If it had been later in the day, maybe that's fine, but they had already called me. It's dark outside, and they weren't where I could see them, and they weren't where I could easily pick them up, and they had plenty of time, especially since they had already contacted me. So in that case, I simply canceled the ride. I collected the $4 cancellation fee, and I went and I accepted another passenger. This one happened to be at a hotel 3 blocks away. I go in, she's right there, she gets in, I drop her off. 20 minutes later, I see that she's given me a $5 tip, and that's great. So, normally your passengers should be ready to go. There are certain places where I can pick people up and certain places where I cannot pick people up. It's really hard to pick people up on a corner, especially if it's a stoplight and the light is green and there's traffic. You can't block traffic. So people need to be a little more aware of their surroundings, but especially if it's at an odd time, early in the morning, late at night. People need to be situated where there's light, where they can be seen, where they can see cars coming down. So I didn't feel bad about not picking that person up or passengers, because they weren't ready. They weren't visible. So if you're going to make it hard for me to get to you, then I'm not going to pick you up. I want to give everybody a ride, but you need to work with me. It's not all on me. It's not all about you. So help me to help you. And on that note, I am going to call the vlog over. All right. Drive safe.